Disneynature proudly invites you to its most ambitious film yet. A groundbreaking journey inside the breathtaking wilds of China.
Hey, what the flick? It's Christian Alonso, and no one's ever here. What's that about?
Where are you people? So Matt is in Chicago.
Matt's in Chicago, Ben's in Atlanta.
We're in Los Angeles.
Yes.
We are doing our jobs.
We're keeping the home fires burning.
Right.
So yeah, it's Earth Day, or coming up.
Actually, today is 420.
Today is 420.
We have donuts.
Draw whatever connections you will.
We are not all the mind frame for donuts.
But Earth Day is coming up, and so that means a Disneynature documentary. That's the thing now. We get one every year, and this time it's called Born in China.
Born in China is about a bunch of really cute little animals who are born in China, and John Krasinski narrates and tells us every single thing that they are possibly thinking. Take a look.
We follow these three amazing families. And possibly the cutest little creature in all of the animal kingdom. The story of each of these animals touches our heart in a way that only Disney can.
Disneynature's Born in China.
So I have reviewed like every single one of these movies. I don't know why I always get
Yeah, I've seen it. I Googled myself, like, oh God, I've seen a lot of these.
I saw Monkey Kingdom and Bears.
Yes.
And so increasingly with these movies, and I find it so cloying and so condescending, there is this like anthropomorphism of the animals, right?
Yes.
And this one, more than all of its predecessors, I would say really is truly only geared toward kids. I mean, as an adult and as a parent, like I appreciated the imagery.
Oh yeah.
I always like the behind the scenes stuff during the credits more than the movie that preceded it. But like this one especially, it's so cutesy, and it's like John Krasinski, wall to wall, John Krasinski saying things like, oh gosh, that didn't work out too well. Like when a little panda goes rolling down a hill. And like it's super adorable, but I can just watch that and think it's adorable without him punctuating it with cutesy little asides.
Yeah, like I found myself grateful when we would get an occasional fact from John Krasinski.
Or
like,
silence.
Yeah, well that was nice too. But like he goes like, the panda eats 40 pounds of bamboo a day, and then he punctuates it with 40 pounds a day. You know, but that was at least at least a fact, and it wasn't like giving the pandas names and assuming the pandas have this sort of human anthropomorphic personality. But as you touched on, these movies are gorgeous.
They are.
They are shot so well, and on a nature documentary level, they're getting extraordinary footage, and they're getting up close and personal, and you really do get this sense of, you know, the terrain. I mean, the other ones have been sort of categorized by animals, like you said, bears, Monkey Kingdom, you know, jungle cats. This one's about geography, and I'm sure the fact that the Chinese box office is gigantic had nothing to do with the selection of that.
I was going to get to that too. I too was cynical and thinking, the choice of China.
You know, but China is gigantic, and it has a variety of terrain. So you have these mountain animals, and these, you know, in the bamboo forests, and you know in the swamps and whatever. And so, you know, that's kind of cool. And the notion that there are those sort of whatever the kind of the antelope-y things where all the women, all the women leave in the spring and give birth and come back. You know, like there are interesting stories to tell, and when the movie does occasionally just sort of let back and let nature unfold.
Let it take its course.
Let it take its course, as it were. You know, it's fascinating, but yeah, they are so afraid of losing the attention of a single 4-year-old that they can't just tell you a fact or let you see a thing. They have to give them all names and like talk about the mommies and this, and he's running around with this because so and so paid more attention to his little sister. It's like, just show me the thing.
And like these like manufactured beefs.
Yes.
Between like certain monkeys, and this monkey is mad at this monkey for some perceived slight or whatever it is. And maybe that happened, but I'm assuming not. I always mistrust the way these things are edited.
Yeah,
the reaction shots and who did what to whom. Like, I don't necessarily believe that these are documentaries in that they document a series of actual events.
Right.
You know,
yeah, no,
they're cut together to tell a story.
They're crafted in post for sure. Yeah, it's like the real world, you know.
Wait, that's not real? The real world's not real? The real world, China. And it's like baby pandas.
Exactly, Panda Road Rule Challenge, I'm in. You know, my recommendation for these, and I think I've brought this up in previous Disneynature movies, like if you're gonna go see them, bring earbuds, you know, and like listen to other music, listen to a book on tape and look at them. These movies are worth looking at, but they just, the narration, even though they get really good people to do them, it is so cloying. And I think, on the one hand, I think these movies are a good sort of gateway drug to get kids to watch documentaries or to watch nature films. But on the other hand, I feel like it's kind of sending them a lot of the wrong messages about what these movies are supposed to do. You're better off watching, what's that show? It's like it's on Animal Planet or BBC. It's one of those where they'll have like a fake monkey with a camera in it. Or they'll have like fake
attached to its back.
Yeah, no, like in its eyes, and so it's the other monkeys interact with it. So you're getting this super up close view. They'll put like a camera in a fake elephant dung, so you can get like an under view of like the elephant stampede or something. I mean, I don't know. I just think there's other better ways to see this stuff. Although on a technical level, as far as the cinematography and the way they do it, you know, it's beautiful.
No, it's beautiful, and then one of the things you learn in the credits afterwards that there's one guy who's just sitting there with a camera, like, okay, I really want this time-lapse shot, but the weather's not right yet, so I'm gonna wait for a half an hour.
Yeah.
And they keep coming back to him, okay, it's a half an hour later, and it's totally different now. Okay, half an hour later, the weather is totally different again. And so that stuff, like the perseverance it takes to shoot it, and the schlepping and the weather and the terrain, I was interested in that. I'm not necessarily sure that you need a cutesy movie like this to be a gateway drug for kids, because if you have Netflix, if you have Roku, like they have that whole Life series at BBC Life, like Richard Attenborough,
Planet Earth,
and so that is transfixing.
David Attenborough.
Thank you, different guy. David Attenborough.
They're brothers, I think.
and that is transfixing, and that is beautiful enough. And in Nick, I know I talk about Nick a lot on the show, but Nick,
he's our litmus test for everything.
Seriously.
And he doesn't trust my opinion.
He didn't see Free Fire, but he saw Born in China. And so driving home, he was also, without me prompting him, I did not prompt him on this. He was super annoyed by the wall-to-wall narration, and he's like, enough with the jokes, just like give me information. I'm a kid, I want to learn.
Well, there you go.
So kids out there actually want information. They're sponges.
I will give them more credit. I also like in the closing credits, you see the people shooting the segments they wound up not using in the film. You know, like there was apparently they had a guy shooting cranes for a year, and then they didn't make the final cut. And I feel bad for that camera. It's like I stood in this swamp hip deep. I got cholera, and they didn't use my crane shots.
They're very pretty. Crane shots of cranes.
There you go.
Okay, so what's your number? I'm saying 5.5. I
gave it a 6.5, just for the cinematography, and so much of the technical stuff is so good. You know, before the footage gets to post, it's all done well, and then it kind of goes to hell.
All right, so our number is a 6, and it's really high on the tomato meter. It's like 87%, which I would just suspect is like a lot of mixed, but just positive.
I gave it a fresh and kind of a sort of way, so that's a lot of times what a high score on the tomato meter can mean. You never know.
If you can see this or Smurfs with your kid, I would say see this. Right, well, Smurfs is cute too, though.
I like Smurfs.
The terrain's also varied in Smurfs. All right, so take your kids. Bye.